Hey pretty, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create this pretty, simple, very easy marble design. So if you're interested, just keep on watching.
Trapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego.
I'm starting off with Mia Secret's Dehydrator and Primer. And that's what I'm going to use to prep the nails. I'm also using taper square, no C-curve tips, and everything that I'm using in this video is going to be linked in the description down below. These are actually my favorite tips to work with, mainly because pretty much all of my clients book for taper square. Like, it's very rare that clients want any other shape. Like, apparently a lot of people really like taper square, and I get it, definitely get it, because that's the main shape that I wear on myself. But these tips are amazing. I really love the no C curve tips because I don't have to shape them at all. Like, I pretty much don't have to shape these tips until the set is finished. Getting into this marble. So like I said before, this is going to be a very easy marble design. As you can see, the only thing that I'm doing is picking up random colors of acrylic. Well, not random colors, but the colors she wanted. I picked up each bead and just dropped it, like wet and all. Just dropped it on the nail, and not in any specific pattern or anything. Just randomly dropped the colors. And then I just go back and I brush it. Like, I just give it a couple of seconds to set on the nail, as you can see. And then I'm going back and forth and just smoothing out the marble and cleaning up my sides and everything. But very, very simple. Just dropping colors and leaving them. On this middle finger and on the index finger, I decided to just use two colors for these, just to give her set a little something, to give it a little something extra. So on the middle finger, as you can see, I use just white and pink, and on the index finger, I use just white and blue. Sorry, I said that I would be tagging these colors. Like, I said I was going to be tagging everything in the description down below, but not everything, because the acrylic colors are colors that I made a long time ago. I just mixed up some, colors, so you won't be able to find the exact colors, but I'm sure you'll be able to mix and make them yourself. And the white acrylic is by Mia Secret as well. So there you go, girl. My bad. Now I'm just gonna cap these nails. My favorite way to cap, I guess, is just using the one bead. Pretty much, if nails aren't any longer than this, like, I go to like up to the long length, like anything past the length long, this is what I consider long on her. So I pretty much use the one bead for anything this length or shorter. Anything longer than this, I wouldn't recommend using one bead for, because it will probably result in dents in the nails. You most likely will have to go back over them, and with several beads, or just multiple beads to fill in any gaps. But for this length, it works perfectly fine. So I just pick up a pretty large bead of acrylic. I just kind of eyeball it, and I pick up a bead that I feel like will be able to go down the entire nail, if that makes sense. I hold that bead on my brush for a few seconds until the bead is completely wet, and then I apply it to the nail. I don't just pick up the large bead and drop it on the nail like the marble, because the acrylic's just gonna run all over the place. So I'm just gonna let you finish watching the capping process, and I'll be back when it's time for shaping and filing. Before I start filing, I just use the file to lift the acrylic from the skin if there is any. So I just press it just to make sure it's separated, just to make sure I don't cut anybody, or I don't hurt her with the file. When filing the taper square, because I use taper square tips, there isn't much filing to do at the end, but I do just want to slim out the shape a little, because if it's too wide, it will just look like a regular square, maybe. So I'm just using the file to go straight up and down the nail. So you just want to hold the file parallel to the side walls, and you're just gonna go up and down each side and try to line it up with where her natural nail meets. To get an extra crispy shape, I like to go underneath the sides of the nails. So you're just gonna flip your file to the side and go underneath, and that's what's going to give you a straight line. It's just going to clean up anything that may have gotten under the nail, any acrylic, anything left over. medium or fine, but I think it's fine. And I'm gonna just go around the cuticle area. I do this after each set to make sure that not only the acrylic is blended, but it also helps with the longevity of the set, because if there's any leftover acrylic on the skin or touching the skin, the nail will just lift. When I'm sealing the cuticle area, I just try to make sure that pretty much there's like I don't know if you can see here, there is something that I look for when I'm sealing. I just try to make sure that there's pretty much no white residue remaining. Like, there's going to be a little bit always, but there's not much. Like, you want it to kind of be as flush as possible. And when going in with the hand file, I'm just going to, I like to feel the nails sometimes, but I just want to make sure that any lumps and bumps are out of the nail. So I'm using an 80/80 grit hand file to do that. I like the 80/80 grit files because I don't have to file forever. Like, it's just the best number or grit file to use for acrylic nails. I made the mistake of getting, them high number grit nail files a long time ago, and it took forever to file acrylic sets. I also go back in and I buff these nails once they're completely finished and pretty much white all the way across. I'm not sure if I showed that step, but I did buff these nails before she washed her hands. I also go and, just straighten up them lines, make sure it's square. So I file the edges and file the tips of the nails. And then I also flip her hand over and get it from that angle as well, just to make sure everything is seamless and nice and crispy and stuff, girl. Once she's washed her hands, I also take a little pad and some alcohol and I rub down the nails just to make sure there's no extra leftover product or residue around the nails. That annoys the mess out of me when I do my own nails, or when I've got used to get my nails done and I had the little white stuff around my nails. I'd be picking at it forever. So once I cleaned off her nails, I went in and I did some little hand-painted nail art. Nothing fancy, nothing like super extravagant, but I did some little lines. So I just try to use the same colors that were already in her set. So I just used blue and white just to give it a little something extra, little pop, little accent. I feel like I've gotten so much better at drawing lines or painting lines, because at first I felt like I really just could not do a line to save my life, but I think I got the lines down. This blue gel polish is now one of my new faves. It's definitely one of my favorite gel polishes. I've always had like gel polishes that were a little more transparent, but when I tell you this blue is so opaque, I think it's called like Sunset Blue or Sunset something. I'm gonna link it, but it's by D&D, but the color is opaque, like one line, like one swipe, one go. I done used it for French and everything. It's so pretty. I realized I was touching the line with my finger. My little pinky was getting in the way, girl. So I had to go ahead and try to, fix it up a little bit. But it came out. My favorite part, gel top coat, make them nice and shiny and everything. So we decided to go for the shiny look, of course, so we can see that marble pop. Once the gel polish is all on, I just take my acrylic brush and some acetone or alcohol, and I just clean up around all the nails, and I swipe them down with my fingers, you'll see, just to make sure that the gel polish isn't going to ruin the shape or anything. And this is what it looks like when it's all finished. I was just asking her if she wanted anything else, but she did not. So this was the finished result. Comment down below if you like these nails, if you enjoyed this set, and if you enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you in the next one.
Capping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco.